Hi, you winners, and welcome to another Winning Wednesday. Now, this one is going to be focused on the Patreon questions that I told you guys I was going to do. So, since last week got kind of overcrowded with topics. So, this Winning Wednesday, again, focus on Patreon. If you guys don't know what a Patreon is, the link is in the description, but by now a lot of people know what it is. And this is one of the tiers that if you pay for, you can ask me a question that I will answer in a Winning Wednesday, and you get a random haiku. Just saying. A random unique haiku that I come up with. I'm not a writer, but I give you guys a haiku anyway. I try it out. I am planning on revamping the Patreon tiers at some point. I was hoping by this next month, but seeing as it ends this Thursday, tomorrow at this point, I don't know if that's going to happen. So otherwise, it's going to be revamped for August. I am thinking about what to revamp them to. I'm going to start asking around and see what works best for other YouTubers. For what has worked for their subscribe count, but at the same time, I'm not full-time YouTube as of right now, whereas a lot of my friends on YouTube are, and that's what the difference is they have a lot more time to do the bigger, or like have something that would normally be a bigger tier be a smaller tier because they have the time to do it. I don't, so it is a lot of work for me to make time for certain things. And that's why it's a bigger tier for me rather than a smaller tier, just because it does take a lot more effort for me to try and make time for. So that's just an update on what's going on with that. I really want to quickly update about the channel before I get into the questions. So what's going on with playthroughs is Mirror's Edge Catalyst is still going on. It just doesn't want to end. IRL, I'm probably close to the end. I think I'm in the last stretch. I think I have about 2 or 3 more parts, so I think it's going to be about 15 parts total, which I think right now we're at 10 parts. So that's good. At least we're getting there, and it's not 30, 40 parts like Mass Effect. So at least there's that. Otherwise, I am uploading games from like Itch.io and Steam that are just short one-shots, maybe some spotlights. I haven't been able to beat a lot of games recently that are pretty cool. I will say that the Parallel was really cool. I really wish that it wasn't so ambiguous or broken. The reason I say ambiguous is because I wasn't able to find a weapon that I needed to. And I'm sure it was somewhere, but then there were 2 enemies all of a sudden. So they just appeared. There is a cat hair like on my nose. And it itches. But anyway, there was a weapon somewhere and I couldn't find it. And like I said, 2 enemies appeared out of nowhere and then I died. So as much as it's really cool, and I really think it's cool to turn into a real game, it would be really sweet because I think this is just a demo for the Parallel. No, it's chapter 1. So it's just the first chapter. So I do hope that they create more, but I really think this chapter needs some updates first. So that'd be the best option. I did just play a game that I'm uploading on either Friday or Sunday, or Friday and Saturday, or reverse with another game I plan on playing. But either way, it'll be this weekend. And that's another one that's a cool demo. It's a pre-alpha demo, so it's actually in really early works. I can't beat that one either. I'm trying, but I actually glitched this one out. So that was my fault. And by my fault, I mean it's probably actually something that needs changing in the game because I used one item and then all my items were gone. It's like my character consumed it all, so I wasn't able to beat the game. Great. So that's something that'll come up, but again, it's a really cool one. It's one that I would play it if it was a full game, if I could get past it. Now, bugs just need to be fixed. So that's been a lot of games recently. I haven't been able to beat them, but at least I get to show you guys a spotlight, and a lot of them are free. So links are always in the description of those games, so you guys can go and play them yourselves if you want to try and get farther than I did, which won't probably be hard. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And tomorrow will be another Hatoful boyfriend, the doctor. So the last romance is done. And then we can play. We're going to do another video, like I said, of all the short romance, or all the short endings of certain romances or storylines. And then we'll do Bad Boys Love. So there's only 2 more videos left. And then there's the sequel. So I don't know if that'll be played in the future for Christmas because it is Christmas themed, or if we'll be playing up until then. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing with the sequel, but it'll happen. in due time. I know it's not as popular of a playthrough, but we're really loving it, and doing, like I said, all my voice acting, even though I'm not a voice actor, is super fun. So there's that to look forward to tomorrow, along with... So today you would have already seen it, or seen that it's uploaded. I'm recording this the day early, because second update is just that I will be gone Wednesday, so if comments are kind of spotty, like responding back to your guys' comments, that's why today, because I am not here. I will be helping Shy Guy. Shy Guy has to go through an orientation for his new job, and I'm invited. So I will be probably going to that. Plus it's free, so I might as well. A free dinner. I'll take it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I will not be around. So that's why I am talking in future tense for today. My bad. But yeah, Hatoful Boyfriend is uploaded today. You guys would have maybe already seen it. Otherwise, it's going to be up soon. And that's about it for the channel. So let's go on to Patreon questions, shall we? So Q&A. I will be reading them as I see them. So one of the patrons, Chris, had asked... what kind of person was I like in high school? And was I a straight A student, a party goer, geeky, active, quiet, or was I something else? I was definitely something else. I would say something else as in I was kind of all over the place. I had friends in almost every single area, almost. But I definitely leaned on the nerdy side, and I had all friends who were either gamers or into anime or artists. So that was kind of the general area I was in. I was definitely not a party goer. I had friends that were... I never went to one party, like stereotypical party. Like I went to birthday parties. I went to like New Year's parties, but those were always at a friend's house with like 10 friends, and we like played video games. Like it wasn't anything big. I never went to a drinking party that most late high schoolers or early college students do. Just was never really my interest, and I heard a lot of stories that didn't really encourage me to want to go, because I was never really one that was interested in drinking and interested in smoking or drugs of any kind. So I've never smoked, I've never done drugs, and I drink very little. So party going was not really my thing. Straight A student, I was an honor roll student, but that's because pretty much my dad probably would have killed me if I wasn't. So I did do well in school later, because 6th grade was probably my hardest grade, and I was failing classes. I was failing one class, English, because of my dyslexia, and then I happened to weirdly test into it, basically Challenge LA, which is like in between normal language arts, which is English for those that you don't know. It's basically our middle school's word for English. And so it's like in between normal English and advanced English, I was in Challenge English. And my parents are like, you were failing and then now you got tested into a higher class? What the hell? Like, I think I just guessed really lucky on the multiple choice. Like, pretty sure that's what it was, because it was all multiple choice for like basically placement exams that everyone had to take every year. So I got put into that, and it actually ended up working out well for me, because that class was focused on visuals and projects that were like create a gaming board, or do these like make a comic, or you could write something. I didn't like writing, so I was able to still focus in class and was still able to complete projects without getting marked down for it, because it didn't have to be a paper. There was papers as an option, but I didn't have to do them. Also, instead of us reading too much on our own, we did popcorn. So everyone just read like a section. And that was a lot easier for me, because it wasn't the pressure of reading on my own, and it wasn't the teacher reading. So like I was more involved, and then we could like commentate on whatever was happening in the story. So that ended up working out really well for me. So that started the trend of my parents knew I could do well in school, so they made sure I did well in school. But I was definitely the geeky, like, nerdy one with all my friends. We went to anime club all the time, so weeb trash, I guess you would call it too. Though that term wasn't around when I was in high school. But we were super into anime, watching it all the time with my best friend, and I was dating Shy Guy late high school. So my junior, senior year was with Shy Guy. And, like, pretty much my world wrapped around that. So, but it was all video game culture for us. So that was the type of person I was, pretty much. I was laid back, but I was definitely in the dating scene, and by dating, I mean I just liked saying I had a boyfriend. I didn't do anything. Like, me and Shy Guy made out and stuff, and as we got older, it progressed, but, like, I've had fairly, as much as I didn't drink and do drugs and stuff, I had fairly innocent relationships, too. So, it was, like, I just liked having boyfriends. Like, someone basically glued to my side. It was a problem. But I always found people who had never dated before, so we just were nerds together, and that's as much as the relationship went in high school, especially freshman, sophomore year. It's pretty much all it went. So I was definitely always boy obsessed in high school, but it was all geek nerd culture. So yeah, that was Chris's question. Then Dustin. So Dustin's question is, are there any upcoming games? Upgaming comes. Are there any upcoming games that I'm hyped about, like Outlast 2? And did I see the God of War gameplay trailer? It's like the game finally grew up. I have not seen the gameplay trailer. I really should, because I've heard that it's really good. But I liked God of War 1 and 2. I didn't beat 1, but I own it. And then my friend bought 2, and I beat that one. So that's weird. And that happened a lot with me and Alicia Storm. I would buy the first game, but I'd never be able to beat it, but I'd beat the second game, which she would buy. Happened actually more frequently than it probably should. But I'm actually really excited. I just said that twice. I'm saying a lot of double words today. But God of War I'm really excited for. Just knowing that a new one exists. But I never played 3, so I don't know how excited I really should be. Outlast 2, for damn sure. Like, I am so excited for Outlast 2. But at the same time, I'm really not, because I'm terrified. Because that's, like, one of the few games that really, like, I don't want to play because of how scary it is. That doesn't happen often, but that's definitely one of the ones that are going to not be looking forward to in terms of, oh, I have to record that tonight, I really don't want to. Because I'm going to be scared, but I know you guys want to see it. Because you guys are sick. And I'm doing it for you, just so you know. But otherwise, I just watch other people play it. And that's what I did with the first one. So the second one I will play blind, just like I did with Whistleblower. Which, Whistleblower. Anyway, other games that are coming out. Freaking, what is it? Death Stranding, I think. That looks weird. That's Norman Reedus and Kojima. And because they're like, fuck Konami. And so they went and did their own game. But it looks bizarre. Like, it doesn't look scary. It just looks bizarre. But I'm kind of excited for it. I don't know how to feel about it, but I'm excited for it. And then there's, what is it called? It's like Banjo-Kazooie, but not. Like, people from Rare got together. Ukulele, thank you. I didn't kickstart it. I wanted to, and I forgot that it existed by the time the Kickstarter ended. So I will not be getting any beta for it, unfortunately, because that's one of the tiers. But when it comes out, I'm definitely going to play it. I don't know if I'll play a playthrough of it, but I might do a live stream of it. So I'm kind of excited for that. But I am head over heels in love with it. I don't plan on beating it, which is why I might just live stream it, because I don't like doing a playthrough of a game that I don't plan on beating. Live streaming is the exception. But I never beat Banjo-Kazooie, that's why. That's why I don't expect to beat this. But I love it. I love it with all my heart. And is there any other upcoming games to either of you? River or Shy Guy? Any more E3 games I didn't think about? RE7, but that's going to be a while.
Probably won't play it.
No Man's Sky, I would totally play for like live streaming or something if it wasn't so damn expensive. That thing's $60, but it looks cool and it's kind of cool. It would be a great live streaming game, but that's 60 books that I'm not gonna dive into right now. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Then, like I said, RE7, that's not coming out till January, but that looks neat. And like I said, I would totally have done the demo if my capture card didn't fail on me. So again, if you guys donate at all, it's going to go towards the capture card. Patreon might even go towards it at this point, but we'll see how much I need for like living costs. And then, because Patreon and GameWisp I use more for supporting me and a little bit with the channel with like smaller games. But for big purchases, that's mostly a donation thing. So, but small purchases like the little one-shots I do that are a couple bucks here and there, or Steam sales for some games that I do plan on playing, those are what Patreon and GameWisp really help out with. So, RE7 demo, I still know nothing about because I would rather play it blind than anything else. So, those are the only things I can think of that are up and coming. At least that I'm excited about. I know there's like a Mario Party where you all play as nothing but Toad. Kind of lame. Don't know why they're doing that, but that's not something I'm necessarily excited for. It just exists. So I can't really think of anything else. If you guys are excited about stuff, put it in the comments, because I'm probably either I'm not remembering it or I'm not aware of it, because I did not watch anything from E3. So let me know. But yeah, I think that's all of your question. And then the last person, where'd it go? Grev. There's Grev. So, and don't apologize for being late. You're fine, because I ended up being late, so don't worry about it. Can you tell me about your first time gaming, as in the first when the romanticism started? I must have played consoles, so what were my favorite ones and favorite games on them? So, I've told this story before, and I'm not going to go too into it, but, and, like, not saying, like, you're asking a question I've already answered. No, like, I'm going to probably focus more on your second question, because the first question, it's a longer one. But the romanticism started with my dad. Actually, it's tied into the second question. It started with N64, and specifically Ocarina of Time, Zelda, Legend of Zelda. I came home every single day and watched my dad play it. I did not play it myself. The only thing I think my dad would give me a bum controller and make me think I was playing. But he did that mostly with Mario Kart, not so much with Ocarina of Time. I was too young to play Ocarina of Time or any other game that I think. Because I think it was right when it came out and my dad bought it and like he played it all the way to the end. And I only remember certain parts of it. Like I vaguely remember him playing the Dark Temple. I don't know if that's the word for it though. Shadow Temple. Thank you. I'm like, hands and bongos. That's what I remember. Like, I remember the boss fight with the bongo guy. It's just hands on bongos. And I remember the ceiling help me out here. Wall masters. They come from the ceiling and they pick you up. I did not play the game. I have attempted to play it a couple times, but as far as I've gotten right now is the Water Temple. So I have not gotten, and I haven't even gone in it. So not because I don't want to, just because I haven't had time. And I was playing it on the remastered N6 or 3DS because my dad has the N64 and I have not been able to play it since. So I always got stuck in Jabu Jabu Vespelia as a kid. So, and that was the one part, because we had a guide, that was the one area of the guide that was destroyed because our cats laid on it when my dad had it open. And it was open on Jabu Jabu Vespelia, and just the cats destroyed it. And there was papers everywhere, and I'm pretty sure we're missing papers, and we couldn't figure out how to beat the temple. Temple. But yeah, so that's what really got me into gaming, was watching him play all the time. And in turn, that made my favorite console, N64, and my favorite games on them, Majora's Mask. That was, after watching my dad play Ocarina of Time, I then got, by the time he was done, because I think it took him a while, and because he did it without a guide, and he only did it when he got off of work and with me watching. So I then played Majora's Mask pretty soon after that and played all the way through it to the end. The first game I ever beat in my life, and then I beat it like freaking 5 times. Like, I love Majora's Mask so much. Played it for the channel. There's a 40-part, I think it's exactly 40-part playthrough of Majora's Mask. And that was actually the first time I played it without a guide, though. I did use a guide because I was so young. I had so, little did I know I had anxiety. I had so much anxiety about failing that what would happen was my friend would play, she would play with the guide. I would read it to her and she would play. And then I'd go home and play that exact area and then stop where we stopped. So that was how I beat it, because I was really young. I don't remember how old I was, but for me, like, my attention span wasn't much, so that's how I could do it. That, and also problem solving and dyslexia. I just wasn't so good to do on my own. But I did, for the first time on the channel, play without the guide, and I did it. And I don't think I 100%ed it, but I came close. Because I was like, I've only 100%ed it once. Like, I always get all the masks, but getting all of the heart containers and stuff, fuck that if I don't have to. That's a lot of work to do, like, perfect on shooting galleries and shit like that. Yeah, so. But that is definitely my favorite game on there. And then a couple other games on them. I really liked Star Fox N64. I then bought it for the 3DS and found out I'm terrible at it now. So there's that. But as a kid, I was able to do the easiest route, and I tried to do the harder routes, but I wasn't able to complete them. But the easiest route I was able to do, and I did a bunch of times. I loved playing Star Fox 64, and I got good at it. And now I can't do it with my life. Like, I cannot beat it. It's just really sad. I didn't try that hard, but, I mean, I remembered it being a lot easier than it is now. So I was talented, apparently, as a kid. And then, as I mentioned previously, Banjo-Kazooie. I loved Banjo-Kazooie as a kid. My dad gave it to me because, probably TMI, but first time I ever got a wart as a kid was on my toe. And my dad had bad experiences with warts. Like, they had to, like, burn it or freeze it off on him. And he just remembered it being bad. So he felt so terrible for me having to go in and get this done. And it wasn't that bad. Like, getting a wart frozen off was not bad, but my dad was like, here, like, you know, to when you're recovering, even though you can walk around just fine immediately afterward. So he got me Banjo-Kazooie, and I, like, played it straight for a month. Never beat it, but I loved playing it. I always played the first levels several times in a row. And that's what I did with Ocarina of Time. I would just run around on my dad's game and just run around on Epona. Like, that's all I would do. But I really liked that, and Mario Kart, obviously, and I never really played Mario Party on N64, but I say N64 is my favorite console, and then probably quick runner-up is GameCube. So pretty much, like, early Nintendo really made me happy as a kid, because I always played, like, Mario Party on that, and then I played Vex, which I did a Let's Play of, and it's nostalgia. I loved early Nintendo in general, so, but yeah. And then he goes on to say stuff that he, like, SNES and Game Doctor thing with floppy disks to copy games. Yay. The early piracy days. I never did that because I didn't really have SNES. I mean, my dad had it, but I never really got into it as a kid. I got into the later systems. So yeah, that's the Patreon questions. I know I take a long time to answer them, but that's because there's only 3 of them, so I want to make it worth your guys' while, especially since you guys do donate in order to ask these questions. So, yeah. Again, if you guys want to ever support me on Patreon or GameWisp, both are in the description. I will be, like I said, revamping Patreon probably August, so that way people who do want to donate in July aren't like, oh my god, it changed halfway through, what the hell? So, yeah. Look forward to that. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next Winning Wednesday playthrough or whatever it is you guys watch. So keep winning at life, guys.